H. Okay. So I'm just going to go over that for the recording. So think about your values. So values are really, really important when you're looking for your passion, your purpose, what drives you. So when I say values, it's not just about a word, it's about something that you are emotionally, creates an emotional, intense reaction or feeling inside you. And this could either be negative or positive. Obviously, the more positive they are, the better, but still it's like that pleasure and pain thing. So what you're attracting to you, you're either bringing things into your life because you want to avoid pain or you want to create pleasure. So they are a very fine line between each other. So there is still that intenseness. And so when you think about a negative emotion attached to a value, you always look at the opposite of that. So what is the opposite value to that? So for me, I get really angry or frustrated with people that are arrogant. So for me, that arrogance is more like compassion or love. So it's really more about understanding. So think of it that way. So once you've written those down, because you might want to go away and think about that more too, but it shouldn't be something that you need to think about a lot. It will be something that you feel, right, yep, that's me, that's what I really love, or that's who I am. It should come naturally to you. So once you've got that, the next thing that's really important is, what is it that gets you excited? So this is a question this is a statement that was made to me quite a long time ago. And this is, so think about something that you could do all day and never ever get sick of it. So something that you love so much, it feels so natural and so absolutely comfortable to you that you could do it all day, every day. And even so take away all the money, the income and everything, it's just that thing. So if you got paid to do that all day, what would that be? And there might be a couple of things. So it might not just be one thing. Feel free to share if you want, ladies. But we can do that after.
Excuse me.
So, and the third thing that is really, really important. So these are all about learning how to find your passion and getting in alignment with what it is that you really want to do and what you feel that you were meant to do here, right? So that you're attracting the right people, the right situations to you. So the third thing is, so think about something that you have always done, that you have always gravitated to. Say, from when you were a young girl, what is something about yourself, and it could be around a value, that you feel that you have always kind of gone back to? And it's not a negative thing, it's a positive thing. It's something that you tend to do. Okay, I'll use myself as an example here. So obviously I've just found mine coming back from UPW and realizing a lot of things for myself. So for me, it's that personal development, it's that spirituality. That's what it is for me. So that's what I keep coming back to. And when I think about really my whole life, I've had it in my whole life. And every time I start to go away from it, I get pulled back to it. It's that thing. It's like a natural magnet that's drawing you back there every time. It's like every time you go away and you think you're on the right path and then you end up going back there. That's the universe going, well, actually, no, that's not what your soul wants. Your soul wants to do this. So that's what it is that you write down. That's what it is that you follow. So feedback. Where are you guys at? You've pretty much found yours, haven't you, Maxine? Do you want to share yours just to help these ladies?
Yeah, sure. I have been working on this a bit recently because I've started the process of looking for team. So I have been thinking about what sort of tribe I want to attract. And I think, Tanya was really helpful in pointing some things out that she'd observed about me over the years. So I think, first of all, it can be quite helpful to talk to someone else who knows you quite well, because they have a sort of outside perspective on what you're like. So what Tanya said to me really resonated. She said, I've always been a bit of a trailblazer. I've always done sort of unusual things, or things that are a bit outside the box. When I think about it, that's true. I've always kind of had done things that were, not necessarily what most of the population would be doing. In terms of, how I raise my children, in terms of my lifestyle, what we're doing, living on the land. So I think the thing that really excites me is I love that pioneering kind of person. I'm very attracted to those people who just sort of look out at the unknown and go, well, let's just go see what it's like. It's always a bit scary, but your excitement about the unknown kind of overpowers any fear that you might have. So, and I tend to have quite a few of those sort of people around me. So I guess that's what I've discovered recently.
So that's great, because I know it took a bit, didn't it? But you're feeling good about it. It feels right for you?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
so
I do. I love people that are resourceful, Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. Yes. So do you want to share some of your values? Because I know that we haven't talked about that. So, around them fitting in with what you've just talked about.
Yes, well, I did sit down and try and sort of, I sat down yesterday and just kind of did a bit of a brainstorm and just put down words that felt good to me. So I got words like adventure, bravery, unconventionality, if that's a word.
Yeah.
So I suppose courage is a value that I admire.
Courage is something you definitely have. So yeah, and that fits with trailblazing, doesn't it?
Yeah, but I also do really admire those other heart-centered qualities like compassion. I really don't like people that make fun of others or that are unkind. That really gets my goat. So it's almost like when you think of, I think it's quite funny because my favourite TV program growing up was The Waltons. So they were like this combination of, there you go.
The pioneers. Pioneers.
They were like this wonderful combination of pioneering, but they had that lovely heart-centered, family-oriented love for each other. So that both they were like my two biggest goals.
Maxine, I watch The Waltons every day.
Yay!
I have some time.
You need to start a Waltons fan club.
Yeah. So, anything else you want to add, like around gets you excited, something that you can do all the time, something you feel really comfortable and that you feel like you can do every day?
Yeah, well, I mean, I suppose that would be that's kind of hard, but yeah, certainly, being in the garden or cooking with something out of my garden, all of that kind of nurturing and being connected to the natural environment. That's something that I could do all day. If I was a millionaire, I think I'd just be in my garden and having people coming to eat and with me and things like that.
Yeah, and that's what you want to do, is you want to take away the need for that income, and that's what it is. So if you don't have to make money from it, because making money from something doesn't mean that it's your passion, it just means you're making money. So if you take that away, what is left? What is it that makes you feel really excited that you can do every single day? So thanks for sharing, Maxine. Was that helpful for you guys? Yeah. Do any of you want to share where you're at or ask questions or anything?
I'm good.
You're all good, Loach?
Yeah, I'm just processing. Yeah, but I've got a lot on my bit of paper, so that's good.
Did you? Okay, did you get anything, like, for example, something that you've always done? So something that you've always kind of come back to or been pulled back to?
I think ever since I was little, I just could really feel strongly, pick up on what other people's pain.
Yeah.
And this is a bit heavy. No, so there's part of me that I get great satisfaction out of helping sort of alleviate that pain a little bit, but by doing that, it's working on me alleviating my own pain. So it's that whole kind of, and just growing humans, you know, to be the best humans they can be, growing myself to be the best human being that I can be. So I don't know, that's a real core, deep stuff. There's something around that.
Yeah, see, for you, what I've noticed, if you don't mind, something that I've noticed with you is that you are very much like to, and it's not so much analyse, well, I guess I could use that word, but it's almost like go through the process. So for yourself, but also with other people, that for you, that whole process is important. So the whole suffering, you know, how you come out of that, so every part of that process, and then coming out the other side and triumphing. So it's about, for you, it's almost like a metamorphosis or a transformation. So, and so you don't just have that empathy and can understand with other people, but actually you have this desire to want to help them come out of it through that.
I do, and like I said to you before, I seem to be a catalyst in so many different areas of my life, like meeting, you know, introducing people or you know, introducing them to something else without even meaning to do it. I just bring things and places together. Catalyst is a word that comes up quite strongly. So yeah, I mean, I think another thing that's coming up for me is just peeling those layers of the onion back, you know, for me. Yeah. But it's funny because it's not like I can say, once I've got all those layers off, then I can help other people, because I realise it's just a process of up and down and in and out, and I do it at the same time as I'm working with other people.
Absolutely. So you learn from other people, they learn from you. So it's like as you're learning, you're teaching them at the same time. So it's almost like you're growing with everybody. Absolutely, I agree.
So I mean, I guess what comes to the bottom of all of that is the healer in me. So I guess the homeopath in me, the healer in me, is still quite strong.
Yeah. So does that fit with your values?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it does.
And so does that make you feel excited? Is that something you can do all day?
Yeah, it is. If it's done in a way that's authentic and holistic and with ease, you know, just a natural kind of a process. And it could be in the bush or in the garden, whatever. It can come in many different shapes and forms.
So what does excite you then? What is it that you could do all day?
I could be in nature. I mean, it's funny because I've got this I love being with people and I'm the sort of connector, but I'm quite introverted as well. So I love being in the bush and on the beach and cruising around in nature. Yeah. That's quite exciting for me.
That's awesome. So does that give you some kind of clarity around what you want to do, what what you're really passionate about?
Yeah, I kind of know anyway, do you know what I mean? So it just makes it more clearer rather than murky, Yeah. And no.
Yeah, so it's definitely following that, because for you, I mean, you could say where you are at the moment, that you are doing that, but I really do feel like that you are better off in those healing modalities than what you're doing right now. It's better because it suits you as a person. It comes directly from your heart. It comes directly from who you are and what your values are. I mean, I don't know what your values are that you've written down, but knowing you as a friend, I know that that's who you are. So, but anyway, I won't put my little take on it because it's not about me and what I think. It's actually about you and what comes from here for you, Awesome. Thanks for sharing, Loach. Well, do you want to share anything, Shirley, or got any questions or anything?
No, this is something we've gone through before, and I find it quite straightforward because I'm a little bit like your friend in that I kind of feel I'm already doing what is my passion. So, but one of the interesting things that came up was what would you do what could you do all day? And although I put massage and hypnotherapy, which is what I do anyway, the other thing that came up for me was writing, actually, which is interesting.
Yeah.
I write a column for our local paper once a month anyway, and I enjoy doing that. But I thought, that's interesting. I might just explore that a bit.
Yeah, fantastic.
Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah.
So for you, your values align with everything that because I haven't known you for very long, Shirley, but there are some values that really stand out for me with you, and it's definitely.
Yeah, I mean, I wrote down integrity, honesty, reliability, and caring for others, and that's kind of it in a nutshell, really. Yeah.
Fantastic. Great. So I know you've missed out on a lot of this, Priska, but I've recorded it, honey, so that you can go back and watch it, and we can have a conversation about it if you want to. So what I want to do now is I want to help you guys how to actually make this something practical. So it's all very well to know what it is, what your passion is, and how to align. Now it's actually how to align that with what you're actually doing. So you can either create, so this is really good. I know that you're working on this yourself, Maxine, and I know we've talked about this a little bit, Priska, but it's actually creating a business from it, either whether you want to do it on Facebook or not. Obviously, with our business, it's better to do it on Facebook. And when you create a business name, it's got to be about what it is that you are doing. What was the words we used yesterday, Maxine? Short and snappy. It's got to get somebody's attention. It's got to grab their attention, and it's got to tell them exactly what it is that you're doing in a few short words. So whatever is whatever your passion is and what you want to do and your values are, put those words into a business name. Now, something else that's really good is creating your own group around what your passion is. So this isn't something that you want to use as your Juice Plus platform. So this is something that you want to create to add more value into people's lives around what it is that you love. So what your passion is, your heart-driven passion. So for me, I started a group, the Spiritual Souls group. So I add value in that group because I love teaching people how to grow themselves, how to be all they can be through their souls. So soul-driven development. And so that's what my group is all about. And every now and then, I'll just pop a little post up saying, hey, I'm looking for beautiful heart or soul-driven people like you. If anyone's interested, I'd love to have a chat about joining my team, something like that. because you've already got to, what you're doing there is you're actually creating or attracting your tribe, because that's what you love doing. You've got a group of it, you're already doing it on a daily basis, and so there are your tribe, they're coming to you. So they're being attracted to your vibe and what it is that you love doing. And so often our tribe come to us from, well, they can come to us from that group that you've created. I know personally that, I'm in a lot of groups, and I was posting in a lot of groups, and I've made a lot of friends that way. And I'm not saying don't stop doing that. I'm saying definitely do that to make more friends. But it's not a place that you can necessarily attract your specific tribe to, because they're not always on the same wavelength as you, depending on what that group is. So I would be just using the other groups as a way to network and make new friends. And then I would use your own group and your own personal page and your business page to attract your tribe and your customers. So does anyone have any ideas around what kind of group they want to have? Or has anyone got it already? No? Show me your thoughts.
So what you're suggesting is a group in Messenger. Is that what you're meaning?
Facebook.
Oh, like a Facebook page.
Facebook group.
Oh, yeah.
I think it's something that you've already got for your customers, Shirley, is that right? Maxine? Yeah. So it's like our customer groups.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's creating a group like that just around whatever it is that your passion is.
Mm.
So once you know what that, getting into that passion of yours, once you are clear on what that is, it's creating a group from that, because when you're clear on that, the right people will come into that group.
Yeah.
And you'll be in the right place for it. Do you know where you're at with yours, Maxine? You put much more thought into it?
No, I don't know quite what sort of group to create. One thing I find, I'm in quite a lot of groups that are for women who are sort of 50 plus, and one thing that really disappoints me is that they're very shallow and quite stupid. I think I'd like to be in a group of other women where it's meaningful, and it's not full of stupid, dumb jokes and just silly things. So I don't really quite know how to create that, though. That's my idea.
Well, it's a good idea. So when you say meaningful, what does that look like?
I don't know. I guess just where you talk about real things that are meaningful rather than. I'm trying to think. Do you know what I mean? Are you in any of those groups?
Yeah, so no, I'm not. I generally leave for groups like that.
Yeah,
but
I think you're going to create it, Maxine.
Yeah, because I'm thinking that's a group that you can create for yourself. So if it's something where you're going, well, I don't like that, but I really want this. So that meaningfulness is that what kind of value do you want to add? That's what I'm asking.
Yeah. So, what did you say, Shirley?
I said I think you will have to create that.
Yeah. So that's why I have to sort of get quite clear about what it is that I'm trying to create. Yeah.
What it is that you want to create. So if you want to create a group that inspires women, we have 10 minutes and then we'll be kicked off, but we can jump back on if you want to. That wants to inspire women to step out of the box and do something that's different. What you can do is you can add people in there, particularly women. If you want it to be just women, you can add women in there that are already doing that have already done that. And then you can add other women in that would like to do that but haven't quite been able to yet. So you can make it almost like an empowerment group where you're helping women to make that change.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, so it's kind of around and being around pioneering spirit and family values and that kind of thing. Yeah.
That's right. Yep, that's right.
Mm.
How about you, Loach? You're deep in thought.
Oh, I'm just thinking about Maxine. I just know so many people, women who are like living on the land and doing their own thing, and who are really inspired in that area. It'd be awesome to have something online that you could chat and share, and I think that'd be quite successful, actually.
Yeah, I'd love something like that, because a lot of the groups are very oriented towards like one thing, like gardening or they tend to be about one specific thing, but just women that are generally living that life would be great.
Yeah, where I'm working at the moment, so the CEO, he's doing his own thing on his land, and so is my new manager, Caroline, and they were talking about it almost in a competitive way, comparing their land, their lifestyle blocks, and what they're doing, and how sustainable it is. And she was just so humble, and I could see that she was getting a bit pissed with him, with the ego. And I thought, how nice for women to be able to share that stuff without, the ego, without men. No, just kidding. You know what I mean?
Actually, having that woman vibe is really nice, that female vibe. It's a different vibe, definitely, yeah. Especially when it's positive. It's not nice when it's negative. So it sounds like you've got some good feedback there, Maxine, so I would go with that idea. And I wouldn't get stuck around what do I put in the group, what kind of value do I add. You can make it an interactive group. You can do lives. So what I'll do is, if you want, I'm happy to add you guys into my group so you can see the kind of things that I'm doing. And obviously you're not going to be doing the same things as me because it's different, but it will give you an idea around the kind of things that I'm adding value to, that I'm keeping with my helping women grow their souls, or helping people grow their souls. Would you like me to add you into my groups so you can have a look? You don't have to stay.
Yeah.
Okay. Prisca? Yep. You want me to pop you in there, honey? Yeah? Okay. Awesome. Yeah, that's better. Hello. So do anyone else want to ask any questions around the group or anything, or your business? Because, you could create, if you wanted to do that, like, you could create your own business name and you could put whatever in that umbrella that you want to around whichever healing modalities you want to. As long as it's here, it's true to who you are and what you want to do.
Yeah.
So if you want it to be healing women or healing their hearts or whatever it is, healing their souls. Yeah.
Sure.
Tanya, can I ask you a question? Because I'm kind of confused, the group and a name. So, for example, if I've got a group like a Young Moms group, and in that group, should I name like maybe Beautifier as a group?
So we're talking about two different things. So,
yeah.
So the name, I was talking about your business page.
Yeah.
As your business. So when you talk about a business and finding a name for your business, the name has got to stand out to someone, and they've got to know what it is that you do from a few words in your name. So the name isn't about a group. So for example, our tribe is called Soul Tribe, right? You don't want that to be the name of your business, because that's about a group.
All right.
It's not about what you're doing or what you can offer people.
So
So a business name should tell somebody what they're offering you. Say, for example, Joe's Garage. You know exactly what that is. Joe,
Yeah.
his name's Joe, and he's got a garage. You don't go there to take your car to get fixed, right? Well, it's the
Yeah.
same with your business. So you've got to think about what it is that you are offering people, and that's got to be in your name. So for my business name is Ignite Your Soul. So for me, it's about helping people to ignite their soul on fire, so that they'll be in there. They're working in their passion.
All right. So now I understand it. Okay. Yes.
Group's a different thing altogether. So that's more of a group name. So it's around, it's got to align with what it is you're doing and create have the kind of people in there that you want in there. So my spiritual group is called Spiritual Souls, because I want spiritual souls in there
Yeah.
to help them grow. So, and in a group, you are adding value to those people in the group. So you're adding value to their life. So whatever it is that you want to do, you are adding that. Do you know?
Yeah.
Do you know what it is that you love? I know you were talking about baking.
Yeah, baking. Yeah, it's one of the priority one. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So you can look back. I've recorded this, so have a watch back. I'll pop it up in our team group today once I've downloaded it onto YouTube, and have a watch of it and see if that's helpful. See if it still aligns with what you want to do in your group, that baking group. And if you want, we can have a conversation, just the two of us, if you need some more around it. Okay.
Okay.
Happy to do that. Awesome.
Yeah.
So how about you, Shirley? So we've got about 2 minutes left. So if we get kicked off, because I was just going to go over one more thing with you guys, not as well, it's important, but if you want to, when we get kicked off, just jump back in again, because I'll just jump back on, and if you've got any other questions or anything as well, I can answer them. So do you want to share anything, Shirley? Do you know?
Yeah. Well, with when you talk about the name for a business, I was always, I've always been Hands for Health Massage Therapy. So I feel as though that pretty much tells you exactly what I do. But I've changed it now to Hands for Health Massage and Hypnotherapy, which gets a bit wordy, but then, at least it tells you that I do both, I suppose.
Yeah, it does. I mean, are you wanting to change it? Do you think it's too wordy? Because it's.
I was advised to change it to Shirley Henderson Hypnotherapy, and I did that for a little while, but it got very messy because I had 2 lots of business cards, 2 lots of names, 2 lots of Facebook pages. It just got really complicated. So I've pared it back and gone back to my original, and that sits better with me anyway, actually. So yeah.
That's the most important thing, is it's got to feel right, because I know my old name, Freedom to Fly, it just didn't really resonate with me. And when I it always felt like it was a chore, whereas now it feels right and it flows better because it's coming from the right place. So if it flows for you, then stick with that.
Yes, and it's been that for a long, long time, and And if
it's working. So that's something else that I wanted to talk to you guys about too. We're going to be kicked off. So something that is really important is if you feel like you've got to a plateau, or you're feeling like things are really stagnant, nothing is changing, it's time to change your approach. And so it doesn't mean you change everything. It means that you change the way you're doing things, because whatever it is you're doing is not working. So all you do is you look at a different way of creating what it is that you want. So decide what it is that you want, and